Good afternoon. What an amazing day. Who knew that Memorial Day weekend could be this nice and pleasant? Great Indianapolis 500 today, in case you watched that. That was really cool. Celebrating the old guy on the track, and he got the victory. What is it that drives you to seek out knowledge of God and who he is? And in your doing that, is it just to know him as a friend, or to know him for academic information, to know him for bragging rights, or what is it? I don't know. I don't know the answer for you. I know for me, I just want to know the one who loves me the most and what he's about. And I was thinking today that there's always some arguments that come about in life, and particularly in biblical circles, people want to argue this, that, or the other thing. And one of those arguments that came to mind was the idea, is the Bible literal or not? And I think in logical circles, anytime somebody tries to get you in an either or argument, they're trying to back you into something that's relatively illogical. So for years I thought, by golly, the Bible is literal. Everything in it is literally true. And there's some that say it's all allegory and none of it ever happened. And yet, maybe it's somewhere in between. Maybe it's somewhere that it's much more literal than allegorical, and yet it's not actual in all the places. And so, when you think about that, maybe you can open your mind to what your view of God and his writings might be as well. For example, I was considering the Apostle Paul this morning and his prayer life. And I think one place he says, pray without ceasing. Do you think that's possible? Do you think it's literally possible to pray without ceasing? I don't think so. I think what he's conceptually saying is have an attitude of prayer when you're awake and going through life. And that's going to get you a long, long way. Hello. Hi. And if you do that, if you have an attitude of prayer, it's going to lift your overall spirits in a pretty positive way. It's a popular day out here today. And so what I was looking at with the Apostle Paul is, in most of his writings, he starts off with, says, I always pray for you. I unceasingly pray for you. I pray for you all the time. And I realized that can't be true, right? He can't always pray for people, because he's talking, he's meeting with people, he's being thrown over ships, he's being tortured and all sorts of things. And he can't always remember everybody that he's writing to either, right? But what I thought, and that's what made me think about this idea of literal or not. If you read things like that, you can't honestly say it's literal, but you can say conceptually that's what he's saying. But that wasn't even the point of what I was telling you. Is that if you take the time and go look at Paul's writings and see what he says early on in each of his letters that he wrote, he gives a indication of how he prays for people. And that prayer is really that they would know God like a friend. And as you know God like a friend, you can walk about life much more boldly. You can appreciate God much more intimately, and you can fear the future much less. And so, whether it's literal or allegorical, as you look to pray, use Paul's examples as good examples for you, because he's praying for his friends in very intimate ways, and he's not praying for their physical well-being most of the time. What he's praying for is that their spiritual roots will go deeper than you can ever imagine. And so today, as you're looking to end the month of May and jump into June, just hope you walk boldly, you pray for people unceasingly, and that you have an attitude for your friends in a way that you're looking past the physical and towards their spiritual needs. That's my thought for today. And I'll pray for you all unceasingly. See you soon.